Hey there, Angie with the Guillette Group here in Southwest Florida, and today we are going to talk about 5 things that you need to know about moving to Florida. And I want to make sure you hang on till the end because I'm pretty sure that you're going to be quite surprised by what my 5th item is. This is the Live Joy Southwest Florida channel where you find out everything you need to know about living in or moving to Southwest Florida. If that's the kind of content you're looking for, please hit the subscribe button. If you ring the bell, then you'll be notified every time we release a new video. And we want to know, what do you want to know about moving to Southwest Florida? What questions do you have about living here? Put them in the box below or reach out to us on any of our social media channels, and we will be sure and get those in our lineup of videos. So today I'm going to talk about 5 things you need to be aware of when you move to Southwest Florida. And these are not your average type of items. So when you think about moving to Florida, like I'm sure when I thought about moving to Florida, I just thought about sunshine and that the houses look a little different and that I couldn't wait to see palm trees and sunshine almost every day. And in fact, there's some other things that you're going to find when you move to Florida. Make sure you stay tuned to the end so that you can see my number 5, which I know is going to bring a surprise to you. But the first thing that I want to share with you about moving to Florida that you need to be aware of, if you don't already know, is that we do not have basements in Florida. I know, if you're from up north, this is mind-blowing because if you're like me, you think, wait, no basement, where am I going to store all my stuff? Where are my kids going to play? Where am I going to put my suitcases? All those fun items that you store in the basement. Well, if you're going to move to Florida, you just need to realize that we don't have those here. So you're going to need to give a little thought to where you're going to put your stuff. As for us, we actually downsized quite a bit when we moved here. And then the other thing that you will find is that a lot of people do end up using their garages as storage because it's warm out, so it's not as big of a big deal to have your car in the driveway, although it's quite hot. But mostly you will see that people use their garages for storage. All right, next up is closets. And I think it goes hand in hand with number 1. And because we don't have basements, it just really does feel like there is a lack of closet space in some floor plans when you move to Florida. You just have to really think about when you can't store stuff in your basement, where are you going to put it? So one really good thing though is we don't need to have all of the clothing that we need up north. So because we really only have like 1.5 seasons, we've got summer and we've got, like a fall/winter for a couple weeks. We don't have nearly the amount of cold weather gear that we need to keep on hand here in Florida. So my family, for example, we have one closet where we store all of our coats, hats, mittens, extra warm clothes in the event that we ever need those and go travel up north. So one other thing that I would highly recommend when or if you decide to move to Southwest Florida is to consider getting a storage unit. So we were originally storing most of our stuff in our garage. And in addition to just taking up a lot of space, frankly, it just gets quite hot in there, especially in the summertime, and it's just not good for most of those items. So for about $75 a month, we now have a air-conditioned storage unit, and I am able to store all my Christmas decorations and some other sentimental items in there and be at peace that they should be fine because it's air-conditioned and they're not sitting in a hot garage. One other thing to note when you move to Florida, something that's different from anywhere else that we've lived, we've been in the Midwest and in the Northeast, is that homeowners insurance definitely is different here than anywhere else than we have lived. So there's a couple things that you need to consider. First of all, homeowners insurance is a little more expensive here in the state of Florida because we have hurricanes. So especially like this year, there's been a little bit of an increase in insurance because of the after effects of Hurricane Irma. So that's one thing to note. Second, because we have those hurricanes, we actually have an entire separate deductible for hurricanes. So you'll notice when you get your quote from your insurance broker or your insurance agent that you actually have 2 deductibles. You have a normal homeowners insurance deductible, and then you have a hurricane deductible. So some companies do have different percentages of hurricane deductibles that you can consider. For example, if you want to pay a little bit more on your premium, then you can get a lower hurricane deductible. So again, in the event that you had hurricane damage, you would have to pay that hurricane deductible. And then one other side note is that we do have flood insurance here. So because we're so close to the coast, we have different levels of flood insurance that sometimes are required, sometimes not required. Even if it's not required, it is definitely a good idea to pay for a policy in the event that there's any type of flooding or anything that might happen after a storm. So going in a totally different direction, one thing that totally took me by surprise when I started coming to visit my mom and dad here before we actually moved here is U-turns when you're driving. So it is like U-turns all over the place when you're here. And when you're not used to, you know, driving where U-turns are legal almost everywhere, it can really take you off guard. So in addition to having a lot of people who are visiting and don't know where they're going, and in addition to having U-turns that are legal, most places, unless there's, you know, a sign that tells you not to turn there, traffic can be super interesting here. So just kind of something to be aware of. It kind of took me by surprise when we were here, and I just wanted to point that out. All right, last, but definitely not least, quick question for you. When you want to get a sub sandwich for lunch, where do you go? Jimmy John's, Quiznos, Panera, a local deli? Well, let me tell you, when you get here, what you're going to find out and what you're going to hear about all the time is the pub sub. That's right, the pub sub. And where do you get the pub sub, you ask? Publix, our local grocery chain. I was mind blown when I started grocery shopping at our Publix and would come in at lunchtime and see the line coming out of the deli. It was mind blowing to me, the people that were waiting in line for their pub sub. So it is a huge thing here. You will hear all about them, and they are pretty awesome. And it's even better when they run some of their promotions. So one thing you'll find out about Publix, which is an awesome place to grocery shop, is the BOGO. So you'll also hear all about the Publix BOGO. Buy one, get one. And boy, let me tell you, you can really save yourself some money if you can work your shopping around the Publix BOGO. There are so many fun reasons to visit and move to Southwest Florida. It's really a cool place to live. There's all kinds of unique experiences, and it was fun to share a few of those with you today. We've got a lot of great video content about moving to Southwest Florida, living in Southwest Florida. How do you decide where to live? Check those out and let us know. What questions do you have? What do you want to see? Let us know, comment below, send us a note on Facebook, and we'll be sure and work that into our plan. Talk to you soon.